Hey guys, welcome back. In this tutorial, we'll be creating cool retro Windows stack animations inspired by old Windows UI. We'll use 3 free tools from our MotionDesk panel to make the workflow faster, smoother, and more creative. Let's begin by creating a new composition. I've already imported a vector or image file of the Windows UI frame, and you can see it here. I'll copy this one into the new composition, scale it up, and use the Align panel to center it perfectly. Next, right-click on the layer and select Create Shape from Vector Layer to convert it into a shape layer. From the panel, I'll run the Shape Splitter tool and simply click Run Split in the default mode. This separates the shape into individual components. Now I'll delete the loading blocks because we'll recreate and animate them ourselves. To do that, I'll create a new shape in the center, adjust its size to match a single loading block, and move it to the start of the loading section. Then I'll add a repeater to the shape. Go to Transform, Repeater. Decrease the X position to bring the blocks closer, and increase the copies until the bar is completely filled. Finally, I'll animate the copies value from 0 up to the final number to create the loading effect. In the next step, I'll create a text layer and type the word loading followed by 3 dots. I want these dots to loop, appearing and disappearing one at a time. To do this, I'll click the animator button on the text layer, select opacity, and set its value to 0. Then I'll open the range selector, set the start to 70%, and animate it from 70% to 100%, adding an extra keyframe a bit later to create a short pause. Now, I'll open the Motion Expressions panel. Go to the Loop section, choose Cycle, and apply it to the Start property so the animation repeats automatically until the end of the timeline. After that, I'll select all layers and pre-compose them. Then, I'll animate the opacity of the final composition from 0 to 100 over about half a second. Next, I'll use the Layer Duplicator tool from my panel. I'll set position offset for all 3 axes to 10, set duplicates to 20, and click Duplicate to generate the layers. Now, I'll keyframe the position of the main control layer downward to create a falling animation. I'll apply Easy Ease to the first keyframe and set the influence to 70 for a smoother motion. Finally, to add a delay between each layer's fall, I'll open the control settings and slightly increase the delay per layer value. That completes this animation. Now let's move on to the next one. For the next element, I'll select this layer, make a copy, and place it inside the main composition. Since things are starting to get a bit cluttered, I'll select all the previous item comps, pre-compose them, and disable the new comp for now. I'll then scale up the new layer, enable collapse transformations, and center it in the composition. Next, I'll open the Motion Expressions tool, go to the Wave section, uncheck Link X and Y, and apply the effect to the position property. In the settings, I'll set position X amount to 0 and increase both the Y amount and Y speed so that the motion only moves vertically. I'll keep the wave ease set to 50% for smooth oscillation. After that, I'll pre-compose the layer again using the Move All Attributes option. I'll make the layer 3D, open the Layer Duplicator tool. Before duplicating it, I'll animate the opacity from 0 to 100. set offset X and offset Z to 30 and the time offset to 2 frames. Then I'll set the duplicate count to 20 and click Duplicate to generate the layers. Inside this item's composition, I'll slightly reduce the scale and animate the position so it moves forward a bit as it appears. Back in the main comp, I'll keyframe the control settings to fine-tune the layout of the duplicated layers. Finally, I'll increase the delay per layer so each duplicate reacts with a slight delay to the main animation. As you can see, every keyframe applied to the main control layer automatically affects all the duplicated layers. Thanks to the delay per layer setting, they respond one after another with a smooth and beautiful reaction. Let's move on to the next item. This time, I'll go inside one of my existing item compositions, copy the simple emoji, and paste it into the main composition. I'll increase its scale to make it more visible, then run the Motion Expressions tool and apply the wave effect to the scale property. I'll increase the wave speed in both directions and set the scale Y offset to 90 degrees for a more dynamic movement. After that, I'll position it in the center of the composition and pre-compose the layer. Next, I'll animate its position from depth toward the camera. And with the Convert Vertex tool, I'll turn the motion path into a smooth curve. Then I'll open the Layer Duplicator tool and apply it to this layer. In the settings, I'll set position offset X to 0 and increase the delay per layer to create a nice staggered animation, and that completes this item as well. To finish things off, I added a laptop background image and arranged all the created elements on the laptop screen to form the complete scene. I connected all the layers to a null object named Global and animated the scale of that null layer to create smooth zoom in and zoom out movement across the entire scene. And that's the final result. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and learned something new. If you liked it, please consider liking the video, subscribing, and checking out more tutorials and tools from MotionDesk. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.